Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Then turn off your computer right now and get a good night's sleep.
Get off! Get off my computer screen, Barney! This goes into the vault. It's not even that funny. Without context, presented entirely without context too.
Oh god. And here we are,
born to be
heretics.
We are the princess of the universe.
Yep, here we are, heretic. This is probably going to be the
Heresy.
Yep, this is going to be the final level from what my research tells me. So
don't spoil that to me, Devar. I wanted the surprise.
I mean, come on, it's like what, a 20-year-old game right now?
Yes, and I did not want to be spoiled about the very deep lore and story of a game from 20 plus years ago. Clearly, have we met?
Okay, shall we just get the show on the road and see how far we get and see what
Yes, let's do that because I have yet again come to you with even more Editing Woes. Editing Woes free. Electric Boogaloo. No, that was 2. Editing Woes free. Return of the Jedi. Okay?
Okay, so
I am up in here with all the increasingly idiotic buffoonery that I have to deal against when I edit these accursed and idiotic files that you send me. I don't know why they are so idiotic, but they are, and I hate them. So anyway,
yeah,
I edit this file on Windows Movie Maker.
Yes.
Because it's the easy and fast way to do it, except the file doesn't render. No matter what I do, it does not render. It decides it does not want to be done. It does not want to be made. So, what do?
Go home.
I'm already at home. No, I have to just undo all the editing I have done to it in order to render it as it is and then edit it again on Pinnacle, which is my regular program.
Yeah. And
so this took about 4-5 days overall.
Oh. Sorry.
Once again, this happened, but at least now I know what I have to do in this scenario. So I don't edit the file on Mundis. I just render it as it is. I don't dare to do anything with it on that program. Instead, I handle all the editing on my regular editing program, which allows me to go deeper into the editing business, because that's what I usually do when I use that program, and it's the one thing I did not want to do, actually. But then my perfectionist self kicked in, and oh boy, there are more cuts and edits in this last episode than in the other two combined.
Yeah.
The two prior to this one. No, wait, it was 3. 3 episodes prior to this one.
Yeah. That was a thing.
So yes, that was a thing. And after I'm done with that, I once again put that video file, once it's rendered, on Mundis, because as I told you the first time, the video comes out too dark. So I have to raise the gamma on Windows Movie Maker, and then I render the video again on Full HD, and it's about 16 gigabytes big.
Ah.
And this time, inexplicably, because I was uploading it in the weekend, I guess it took an incredible amount of time.
Let's see, where am I supposed to go here? Jeez, this is very...
Well, I'm glad you're stuck already at the beginning of the level, because it gives me the opportunity to rant with no end in sight. And speaking of which, I am done ranting about editing, and hopefully I am done ranting about editing for the foreseeable future, because I cannot take any more of this, man. This is too much for one man to bear.
Oh yeah, believe me, I can understand that. It'd be too much for me to bear too if I was in your shoes.
In fact, not just a bear, but a badger and lion too. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I am a bit lethargic. I am trying to summon some manner of energy after eating 29 pieces of meats on wooden skewer.
Right.
Holes.
So you had a kebab essentially.
I guess it's called a kebab, but we call it a spiedini.
A
A
spiedino.
spiedino. Small pieces of meat just skewered on a short wooden stick.
Right.
We had a big takeout dinner
Oh, that sounds nice.
tonight, and I actually went to my mom's home for a change, because my country is slowly letting out the quarantine.
Yeah, same as England is slowly lifting the quarantine.
Slowly, but we still have to be careful. For
Extremely.
obvious reasons, extremely. But mom lives nearby, so it wasn't a big deal. I went there. We had this big dinner. She, let's just say, she over-ordered.
She was probably just so excited to
takeout
have
dinner. She really, she was a bit excessive with the takeout order. We've had 60 kebabs.
Wow, 60.
In between the three of us, between me, my mom, and my sister. And I ended up eating 29 of the little buggers. They were delicious, by the way. There is this place, which is also nearby where my mom lives, that I actually wish to take you to if you ever come to Italy, because they have the best meat I've ever eaten. They certainly gave me the best hamburger I have ever eaten. And it's a very simple hamburger without even cheese.
No cheese.
Yes, the meat is that delicious.
I'll have to take your word for it, but it'd be very nice to see, someday. Oh, come
Yes.
on. But seriously, where am I supposed to go? I must be missing something. What am I missing, though?
I bet this is a Doom 2 scenario in which the way to progress is to uncover a dastardly secret. Start humping all the walls.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
While Devar is busy blasting the walls.
I actually do have something interesting to basically bring up, because recently me and my sweetheart, we were watching movies on Amazon Prime, and there was one movie called Contagion.
Ah, yes, I've seen that one. All the way back when it was initially released, well, not released, presented at the Venice Film Festival a good 10 or so years ago. To think that film was made in response to the fear of the H1 outbreak.
I'm so amazed how much Contagion kind of mirrors what's actually going on right now. So, I mean,
Yes.
there's not trash everywhere on the streets, but just the
It
kind
feels
of
like the apocalypse, though.
yes. And
Yes.
it's just kind of amazing that everything else.
Oh,
is,
and of course, Patient Zero was in China.
Yeah, and it was, and it's like at the end of the movie, it basically was all like, it was a bat that basically brought the virus, and it got into the food.
I think the point that the film was trying to make is that the virus wasn't the result of science going wrong or some idiotic racist conspiracy theory that MAGA people believe in. It was a series of crazy coincidences and accidents, the chaos of life. And it's the kind of happenstance that happens once in a million times. Which I think it's more accurate to what is the truth. So you just watched Contagion. What are your thoughts on the film outside of the terrible real-world implications? Which, by the way, we should clarify, Contagion is literally a film about a pandemic that spreads throughout the entire world and kills thousands, if not millions of people. And it was a film from about a decade ago.
Yep, 2011, I believe, was the year. Really?
Well, almost a decade ago then.
I think, it says I could have sworn it said 2011, but maybe I misremembered because it has been over a week ago since I saw that film.
I believe it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, but I'm not sure, actually.
I actually am not sure either myself, but I just remember just sitting there watching this film just in utter surprise and awe at how much it felt like a prophecy
Yes.
that no one took seriously.
Again, it was a film made in response to the fears of the H1 outbreak, which again, I remind you, was swiftly handled. It could have gone as bad as
this one,
but instead it was swiftly handled because, lo and behold, governments were actually prepared for it. For a change.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so it's such a big surprise that. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts was. Just basically just sat there in utter shock. I just, so...
I think often of that film in the last couple of months for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
I would not want to watch it again because...
No, I
frankly,
wouldn't.
not because of what it's actually about, but because, well, frankly, as a film, is rather unimpressive and very uninteresting to me, specifically. It's very basic.
Yeah, it is extremely basic, and it's just kind of just goes off on the one concept and then runs home with it and beyond.
It doesn't so much as run as it whimpers home after it's been beaten to death. Well, clearly not to death because he can still walk, but beaten pretty hard. The analogy escaped me there, but in fairness, I've seen that film a long time ago.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I cannot even tell you what exactly happens in it, if anything at all. I think people just get sick and die, and some people don't die, and then the outbreak ends.
Not really. Just basically, just kind of goes like, "Hey, we have a vaccine," sort of thing, and then it kind of leaves you with questioning whether it actually worked or not.
Okay, well, fair enough, but it's still very straightforward.
It is very straightforward, yeah. It just follows a bunch of characters like a father who loses his wife, who is patient
I
zero.
remember that.
He's trying to protect his daughter. His daughter's being all pissy because she can't be with her boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
And then you have one guy I know who played as a CSI character in CSI.
Yes, that makes sense, I guess.
who plays as I actually forgot who he plays as. I know he plays as some sort of smart guy who is married to a lady that gets beat up later in the film because he has credentials and such to get access to the vaccine first.
Ah, yes, that classic class struggle.
Yeah, so...
Are you seriously just spending the first 10 minutes of this podcast stuck in one room?
Surprisingly, yes. I'm trying to figure out if there's a button somewhere or if there's something I'm not doing.
Have you tried interacting with all the spheres?
That I believe those are just ammo for the rocket launcher, so let me try something. Nope. Huh.
Oh my gosh.
I do not see any way out of this place.
This is mental.
I hate this, just so you know.
This is the final level of the game. Maybe that's actually the final boss.
What, ourselves?
No, entropy. Nihilism. The prospect that nothing matters and everything you've been worked towards is for nothing because you're literally in hell. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is only despair and the sameness. You are stuck in hell. And that's the moral of Heretic. That was the message all along.
God damn it. Anyway.
Literally in this case.
You know, I'm actually getting tired of this, so I'm just going to actually go research real quick.
Okay, let's pause the game to bring up the facts, which are also what we give. Maybe that was too subtle. Anyway.
Yeah, let me take a look for the final...
So, Devar, do we have any facts to give?
All the facts.
Yes, all the facts to give, indeed. Right then, so, recently...
Yeah.
She-Ra has concluded.
Yeah, I keep hearing nice things about that show.
It's really good. It's well written, well characterized, well built overall. It just sucks you in, hook, line, and sinker. You will not believe how invested you will be in characters literally named Adora, or Kathra, or Bo, or Glimmer. Just, you will not believe how seriously you will take this interpersonal, emotional turmoil drama between all these characters trying to get over themselves and reaching their potential, not just in terms of their abilities to fight in a war, but also and especially their abilities to love themselves and learn to rely on others. It is such a profoundly mature series when it comes to dealing with personal emotions and how we put ourselves out there in the world, how we present ourselves to others, and how we interact with others.
Yeah.
But most importantly, how we interact with our own issues and how they affect others. She-Ra is a treat. She-Ra is love, She-Ra is life, She-Ra is everything, and I loved it to bits.
Okay, that's good to know. So anyway,
and you know me, I always find something to nag and criticize and complain that doesn't really feel right to me.
yeah.
And I guess there are some issues and mistakes here and there if I really want to be pedantic, but I don't feel like it because this show is 52 episodes of greatness, 5 whole seasons. Not one season was bad, and I was thoroughly enthralled and entertained all throughout the run of the show. It's just Netflix, because this is a Netflix show,
Yeah.
has been nothing but excellent in its output of animated shows and, yes, even animated films.
I'm really liking this era so far for animation.
Yes, Netflix is doing great. There is so much variety in it. I told you about off screen. I told you about my absolute infatuation with glitch techs.
Yeah, I remember.
A show that I am still jazzed about to this very day, and it's been almost 3 months since it was released.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much I enjoyed it.
Okay. You wanna know something stupid?
Okay, please enlighten me.
Okay, so this is the Wings of Wrath, an item in our inventory which I've never used before.
Uh-huh.
You can fly.
Oh.
And you go here. And then we have Molotovs.
You know, you could have just jumped because this is GC Doom.
Yes, I know, but I did not realize this was going to be a thing. And geez, I'm actually up so high, so let me do this.
This game just decides to pull a Doom 2 right at the very end with that idiotic puzzle.
Let me try and see if I can get rid of one of these guys. Because I'm right now invincible thanks to the invincibility rig.
Ah, yes, the invincibility coke.
Yep.
I mean ring. Okay, well, save.
Let's use another one. And let's use one of these tomes of power while at it.
I'm glad you have saved all of your items just for this final battle. When you face a bunch of Minotaurs.
Oh right,
I
this is a flamethrower. I forgot. This is what happens when...
Are they seriously not dead yet?
Nope, they're not dead yet.
You know, I sure love when my game screen becomes piss yellow to symbolize that you're invincible. That sure is a great color palette to oppress my eyes.
Okay, that's one Molotov down. Let's hide behind here so then we don't get
obliterated.
Yeah, so God freaking Barney. That's what I named the save file, yes.
I guess you did.
Oh, I've seen her run out of the flamethrower, but that doesn't matter. We're going to take out one of these other guys. Okay, so...
These guys sure are bullet sponges.
They certainly are, and I really don't like them. It's like the cyber demon mixed with another being entirely. Far too much health on them, far too much power. And you have to be rather careful with them. Anyway, I actually have been watching a new detective series called Father Brown.
Father Brown, that sounds like some sort of evangelical guy solving murders related to Christianity.
Okay, so the concept of Father Brown is it takes place in 1950s. I'm trying to think if it's Ireland or Britain, but it's one of those two places. It takes place in 1950, so that means there's not much.
So
in the way
you
of
cannot
tech.
even tell if it's either England or Ireland. I think there is a sizable difference.
Well, that's because... Oh, okay, never mind. We actually defeated all the Molotovs. is all of them the exit, or is one of them the true exit?
Oh boy, imagine if it teleports you into another room full of minotaurs.
I would so hate this game if it does that.
Well, save before then.
Okay, well, I might as well. I might as well do this, and then we'll see what happens. Oh! As the final Molitor bellows his death agony,
Molitor! Molitor!
You realize that you have never come so close to your own destruction. Not even the fight with Disparal and his
Which
disciples
again, I don't remember at all who this Disparal was.
has been this desperate. Grimly you stare at the gates which open before you, wondering if they lead home, or if they open onto some undreamed horror. You find yourself wondering if you have the strength to go on, if nothing but death and pain awaits you. But what else can you do? If the will to fight is gone, can you force yourself to continue in the face of such
You don't
despair?
have to be told, you know.
Do you have the courage you have find in the end that
You
it is
have
not
find,
within...
Devar.
Yes, you find in the end that it is not within you to surrender without a fight. Eyes wide, you go to meet your fate.
I have but one question for Heretic guy.
What?
What are you fighting for?
What are you fighting for? And I think that was it.
I guess, yes, that's the end of Heretic. You did it, Devar. We did it.
Jeez.
We did it.
Yay. Oh no, we did it. Can I just say that that final boss was just not interesting at all?
Well, bosses in this particular era of first-person shooters seldom are.
Yeah, it's just that Doom at the time had like the icon of sin at least, so it was different.
The icon of sin can... I am so angry even thinking about the icon of sin, and I don't even know what to say about it to properly express how much I loathe the very concept, the mere existence of the icon of sin. It is the worst design boss of all time. It had no business being in a game like Doom 2.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, at least it was, you know, a different enemy sort of thing, so... You know, so essentially what I'm saying is that the Molotors we kept seeing, like, a couple of times during certain levels, so it became like the Cyber Demon.
Yes, and you know what? I don't even remember what or whom this Disparal was. I don't remember ever seeing anyone different from all of the enemies that we have fought, that you have fought specifically. Who the heck was Disparal?
I think I remember it was a wizard on top of a lizard, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember that at all.
It was a long time ago since we last recorded this. But, well,
yes, it's a bit underwhelming when you get to fight the remaining alive minions after you defeated the mastermind.
Yeah.
It's like a bad 007 film. In all the bad 007 films, which in fairness are most of them are, you always defeat the minion, the second in command, after the mastermind.
Well, yeah, because the mastermind is the one that doesn't have all the, you know, the skills to fight Bond.
Well, you can have the second in command fight him in a climactic battle, and then you have a show of wits with the mastermind.
Well, yeah.
When Bond has to outsmart him because
I
he's
agree
in a position of advantage or something. How did he defeat Blofeld? Right? I mean, it was stupid the way he beat Blofeld, but at least it was something, I guess.
It was memorable.
Stupid cat! The stupid cat! And the clone business. My gosh, man.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, because essentially now we've finished the game, do we just
Yes.
sit here and talk a bit more about it?
Well, we could do that, or we could start the next game.
Oh no, the next game.
Oh yes, the next game.
You really want to play you want to play that game?
I really do. You know I do. You know I've been wanting to for a while.
Okay, just give
Because
me
I know for a fact that you happen to possess it already, so, you know.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
We all know.
Let's break this up. I'll be right back. I'll probably stop recording on this one.
Yes. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome to the Serious Podcast for serious gamers. As in, gamers.
Yes. Welcome to Serious Sam's HD First Encounter.
This was the official HD remaster of Serious Sam: The First Encounter, first released in 2001, I believe. It was the last big-time arena shooter from the 90s. In spirit, at least. It took, actually, the 90s and gave it a good injection of cocaine and steroids. The ultimate experience of arcade arena shooters in that sense. Swarms of enemies just gunning and coming for your flesh, surrounding you at every possible corner, including the exploding guys, the famous ones.
Which we'll get to at some
yes, so we talked about this game several times during the Heretic podcast, so it felt natural, it felt just right that we would end the Heretic podcast and just transition into this new podcast venture when we get to play and talk over Serious Sam: The First Encounter. You know how this formula works by now. As soon as we run out of things to say about Serious Sam, we start bringing all the topics.
Yeah, so we'll get back to Father Brown, which I will talk about at some point.
Yes,
Anyway.
definitely. I definitely want to hear all about Father Brown solving church-related murder mysteries.
Anyway, so I think we should begin this, don't you think?
I think we should. It's a serious beginning in Egypt.
Ooh, true Serious Sam HD demo level demo Karnak.
Well, maybe when we're done with Egypt, because I don't know if you know the story, but basically Serious Sam was released in two parts. The first encounter and the second encounter.
Yes, I have the second encounter as well.
Yes, we might get to that as well, but basically the first encounter plays entirely in Egypt, because we are time traveler fighting aliens from outer space, because why wouldn't we be time travelers fighting aliens from outer space?
I know, right?
And the second encounter takes us across multiple eras and multiple countries, not just ancient Egypt, but also Babylonia.
Yeah.
And medieval England, I believe, was the final level.
Yes, I remember that music from that one, actually.
Yes, the music in that stage and the music in this game in particular is very memorable.
Yeah.
In fact, let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. This is no more games. This is serious stuff.
Oh, look, we have access to all the levels here. But I think we should probably go to the first level, Hephaestus. I mean, not Hephaestus. Hephaestus.
Yes, I have no idea how it's supposed to be read, so...
It says
Hatshepsut. I don't know.
It says I accidentally actually said an actual name of an Egyptian god.
I'm sure you did, and maybe it's a reference to that, or maybe it's a real place that exists.
Okay.
Honestly, my knowledge of Egypt, especially ancient Egypt, is a bit lacking.
Let's just go on normal. I think we
No, we should go serious in order to unlock mental. Obviously, this is the serious podcast, not the tourist podcast. It's not the tourist podcast, not the easy or normal podcast. It's not even the hard podcast. It's the serious podcast.
Well, humor me. Let's just go on normal.
Okay, let's go normal then.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Hello, I am Netrixa. Netrixa. There you go. Neurotronically implanted combat situation analyzer. I will guide you through your missions by analyzing new environments, enemies, and items. When I have a new message for you, press use button to invoke me and read it. Actually, this Netrixa is the only one who provides context, narrative, or otherwise for all of your missions, and she might have some funny quips every once in a while.
Oh look, we start with a military knife and a simple revolver.
The
show field.
The starting weapons in this sort of games is usually not very good. I think this one is the exception.
Yeah, I like this. I like the revolver in this one. Let's go, Anton.
The weapons in this game get ludicrous,
Ooh,
just as I like them. At the dawn of the 21st century, mankind makes a startling discovery. Beneath the sands of the earliest known human civilization, traces of another, even more This is Stargate.
Yeah, the technologically
Stargate.
advanced civilization are uncovered. The profound scientific implication of this discovery leads humankind to the far reaches of the universe. Everything seems perfect, but too perfect to last. In the year 2104... mark your calendars, folks. Human civilization is attacked by...
2104, by the way.
That's what I said. That's what I said. 2104.
I thought you said 2004.
In the battles that follow, humankind fight valiantly, but nothing can stop the monsters from coming. Earth forces are steadily defeated planet by planet from Alpha Centauri back to their own solar system. Because of this extreme bravery in battling monsters, Sam Sirius Stone becomes a legend. Wounded countless times, but never defeated, Sirius Sam becomes a living symbol of the Earth's resistance against the advancing evil. But no matter how bravely the human armies fight, they are defeated time and time again. And attempts to defend the solar system fail, and the Earth is now under a direct attack.
This sure is a lot of not game I am playing right now.
Humankind stares into the face of its own annihilation. World leaders must now turn to their last chance, an ancient artifact called the Time Lock, a relic from a long-forgotten race imbued with the power to teleport a single person back in time. The choice of whom to send is obvious.
Yes. Mark from accountants.
Yes.
Yes, let's send him.
No, we send Julie, the coffee lady.
No, this only requires the most serious of Sams. Serious Sam.
Yes, Sam's Sirius Stone.
Yes, send in Sam and Max. Back in time.
Let's have Sam and Max join up with Sirius Sam on this.
Yes, Sirius Sam and Max. Oh, jeez, Louise and Beatrice.
Okay, I guess we're having this moment of...
So, I sure love that apparently Sirius Sam seemed to have had 3 games worth of content before this one even starts.
Look at
That
this.
is a freaking Stargate!
It is, isn't it?
Well, it's not a circular stone with symbols on it, but you know what? It looks like the kind of futuristic base they used to send the Terminators back in time. Come to think of it.
Yeah, probably is. Hey, Sam.
You
Such
crack me up, little buddy.
Okay. We actually have story.
Yes, I am not reading any of that. I'm sorry. This is all interesting information and all of that, but I am not here to learn history. I am here to kill history. Well, you are here to kill history, to be specific.
Yes. So, you know what? I'm not gonna read all that either, so let's just go.
Ready for battle.
Ready for battle!
Ready for battle. We are going to go out into the desert.
Yes, you know what? We played the demo of this at one point, and you did the exact same thing. And you were met with an unexpected reward, too.
Yeah, I think I survived that, too.
Yes, walk into the desert. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Lovely
Lovely day, isn't it?
It's raining, but yes. Bum, bum,
Bum,
bum.
bum.
Serious Sam, the walking simulator.
No, look at that. Isn't it nice to just take in the beauty of the temple?
Indubitably.
Let's just keep walking.
There is something. Oh, there you are. That's
Hi.
the word for walking off the main path. You get enemies you're not prepared to fight with your puny gun. Oh, they are just the spider things from Doom, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, a very manly retreat seems to be in order.
Yep, it pretty much is. Serious Sam is like this. You're supposed to, basically create breathing room for yourself.
Yes, extremely so, and you have an entire desert to move around, in fairness. But you do not have the right weapons to deal with this enemy. This is an advanced enemy for later levels.
Yeah. There is a reason for this, though, that I was decided to do this.
To showcase this?
Well, that and plus there's a secret out of the desert.
Yes, I do like that the reticle changes in color when you're about to kill an enemy.
Ah, bugger, I didn't mean that. Okay.
You killed one of them. 3 more to go.
Don't they look lovely, folks?
Yes, well, they are getting dangerously close.
Yes, especially with their rockets. Maybe I should start backing off just a tiny bit.
Yes. Do you have a run button, by the way? Remind me.
I actually forget if I have a run button.
So
but-
the first time you did this, I think you died, actually, come to think of it.
Well, I have
Not
to get.
sure.
I don't remember at all. It was a test recording back then.
Yes, we made a video, I posted it on YouTube, but it was several eons ago, so I don't even remember what happens in it.
Thanks, Incline.
I cannot believe you're doing this with your puny starting gun.
But it's so cool and awesome, though.
This is so boring to watch, I'm sorry.
I'm sure people won't mind. Anyway, Father Brown, everybody.
Yes, this is a good as time as any to talk about Father Brown. Please enlighten me about Father Brown. What happens in Father Brown?
Well, Father Brown is just basically some form of it's basically a drama show in the guise of a murder mystery show.
Uh-huh.
It is actually considered the 3rd most popular drama show on television in Britain. Strangely enough, Father Brown basically explores the exploits of said. Oh, we actually defeated them.
And you made 30,000 freaking points by doing so.
Okay, as we go on, we follow the exploits of Father Brown, who basically.
There is a small dot in the distance. I don't trust that small dot in the distance.
Depends on what that dot is that you're talking about, because
Well, now you can't see it because of the slope. You see, it's right there.
You mean that tree over
Slightly
there?
to the left. Yes, that's a small dot in the distance. Go to it! Walk all the way there!
Yes!
And
Father
while
Brown.
talking about Father freaking Brown.
So yeah, it's basically, a guy who looks for the truth. Essentially. He doesn't solve murders just because, he has to do it because it's the right thing to do. It's just because, you know, we must find the truth to, you know, and protect his flock, so to speak, as well. There's some times in the series where he decides to, you know, let the murderer go due to morality reasons, but more often than not, whenever he finds his killer, he basically makes it so that the killer feels compelled to tell the truth or reveal the truth in some shape or form.
Oh, magical priest man, my favorite.
Yeah, because essentially Father Brown's under the impression that as a man of the cloth, he believes that the person who committed the crime should admit to their sin.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
you know, I'm not going to lie, this show sounds terrible and I would hate it.
To be honest, it's pretty dry, actually. I don't even know why it was considered.
I find that a lot of British television, no offense, is either pretty dry or in its attempt to sound important or to have gravitas, it ends up being too goofy. You know, that's basically any other episode of Doctor Who in my experience.
Okay, so now we have done that secret.
Okay, it was a fun secret, especially to have literally at the beginning of the game.
So let's just take a look around. See
just a fun trap for beginners that think they are being smart.
Yeah. I actually just like that secret just because
Well, sure, if you expect it is fun.
I went the wrong way. But then again, I do remember is there something over here? Because I know there should be extra weapons somewhere around here.
You know, I just realized with levels of this game being so large and prime material for exploration, that gives us a lot of room to just talk endlessly about things unrelated to the game.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And oh no, that's just the geometry of the level. I thought
the geometry, right? The texture, you mean?
Yeah, because I actually thought it was something in the distance, but
I cannot believe you ranked up 40,110 points without even starting the level properly.
I mean...
Oh, I cannot wait for Serious Sam 4, by the way, which is coming, apparently.
Yeah, yes, I do like the Serious Sam series. Let's ignore number 2 for a moment.
I stopped at the second encounter, which in my opinion was a good place as any to stop.
Yeah. But then it came back with a vengeance with 3, which was fine for the most part from what people said.
Was it actually titled Back with a Vengeance?
No, I don't...
It would have been great if it was titled Back with a Vengeance, actually.
Hey, so yeah, yeah. You know, I only watched Father Brown just because
there was nothing else on?
Well, that and plus, while I was doing my usual chores, I saw my parents were watching it, including my dad, and my dad hates murder mysteries. He hates Columbo. He hates Murder, She Wrote.
Oh my gosh, you're mentioning all the best ones.
Yeah, my dad hates them all. He thinks they're so boring. And yet he decides to watch Father Brown of all things.
Yes.
Just because
indeed.
He finds it entertaining and interesting.
I don't know, maybe he's really into the British Protestant church, and what the hell is this secret?
Hello?
Hello, developers of the game.
Yes, that is who they are.
You know, usually set developers would wait for some level down the line to just throw this kind of surprise at you, not literally the first level.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's kind of amazing. I love it. This is the game, by the way. This is the game's sense of humor, just so in your face all the time.
We get rockets, but we have no weapon.
Well, when we do get the weapon for the rockets, we will have an advantage. Can you kill these people? No, why are you killing me? I made this game you love. Shut up, you creepy Mars Attacks parody. And you know what? I think you're getting points for killing them too.
Let me see.
Not.
Nah, I'm not.
No, you're not. Well, why would you get points for killing the creators of this game, you monster? They even said hello and everything.
Well, I thought that they were going to do something.
Well, in fairness, these games teach you to shoot at everything that moves, so...
Actually,
Don't you think it's strange that Serious Sam traveled all the way back to ancient Egypt and there are no Egyptians inside to be seen ever?
Yeah, I know, right? It's quite silly,
It
isn't it?
always baffled me, even as a child. I get that programming actual NPCs in this sort of games is time-consuming and ultimately pointless because you're not going to care to interact with them unless you shoot them to death. But to have the entirety of ancient Egypt completely, utterly barren like this is baffling.
Yeah, it is.
I think you have a message.
Yeah, let me take a look, see. Yes, it's for this creature we saw, the biomechanoid major.
The biomechanoid.
And that's pretty much what we got. She decided to log in the enemy that we fought, which was a later enemy apparently.
Yes, it was, and we fought it first. You fought it first, I should say, because, well, I sure want to go frolicking into the deadly desert out there.
I want to preface something that about the Father Brown episode I watched. Father Brown was...
Oh god, you're not done with this?
Yes, Father Brown was a television show that basically was on TV airways during 2003. So it's quite an old show by now. I can't believe I'm calling a show from 2003 old.
Yes, thanks for that.
Yes, and this first mystery that I saw him solving essentially had a guy who got murdered. No one knew how he died. Obviously, the person who they pin as the murderer isn't really the murderer.
No. Really?
Yeah.
That never happens.
So Father Brown then ends up finding out that that the person in question, the victim, was gay.
Uh-huh.
In 1950.
Uh-huh.
And he goes out of his way and hello? This guy had a buzzsaw for a head.
That's fun.
Let's take a look at that enemy. That's if it will let me. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Lovely
the
chap.
Beheaded Rocketeer. So the enemies in this game are great. They are bonkers.
They are nonsensical, some of them.
I love them.
I love them as well. They're completely ridiculous. It's like a parody of 90s shooters, really.
Why wouldn't we have a guy with a freaking buzzsaw for an head and his actual head just in his hand? Why? Why not? I think Serious Sam was simultaneously a parody and a tribute to those classic 90s arena shooters. The Doom generation, the Build generation, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But, you know, unlike Duke Nukem, it's actually funny.
So this is actually the real enemy we were supposed to fight first.
Yes. You know, enemies that actually die after a couple of shots from your regular starting puny gun.
Oh, he caught
for a change.
He caught me. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, he confronts the male lover that he, the guy was with. Though to get a bit more complicated, but let's call him male lover for now. And obviously, the person who has been outed as being gay is afraid of being, oh, this would have been useful against the mechanoid.
Mm-hmm.
So he was basically, hello, you.
Okay, that's just a pinky.
Yep.
Not all enemies are very original in this game.
Nah, male.
Oh, there is a female one? I bet she has a bow on her head to distinguish her from the male.
Also, this is kind of badass, I think. Just basically dual-wielding two of them. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you dual-wield?
I think you would love Dusk, which is a relatively recent release that very much homages the style of the Serious Sam era of first-person shooter gaming. It's very much Serious Sam meets Painkiller.
Yeah, I think I've seen that, actually.
I think you would absolutely love it. I've seen gameplay of it, and I love it.
I wonder if I should go through there, or should I just basically look around still up here?
Anyway, so this episode of Father Brown is...
I was going to almost finish off, because essentially... So, obviously the guy is afraid because he essentially, but gay in the 1950s is kind of like a bad thing in that time period because, people were not...
it's kind of a bad thing in Great Britain in general, no matter the age. But yes, especially in the 50s.
Yeah, and I can't believe I just shot this guy to death thinking he was an enemy. Okay.
Oh, nice splotch of blood. Ooh, secret weapon.
Yep, I found the rockets.
You found the rockets. My gosh, you know this game very well.
Well, that's because I played this with a guy called Sean. He introduced me to the series and he bought this game for me because he wanted to play multiplayer with somebody. So...
Nobody buys this game to play multiplayer, I can tell you that much.
He did.
Well, okay, he's the one exception.
And me and him, we enjoyed the heck out of this game back in my college years. Hello there, good sir. So yeah, I was about to say. So, and surprisingly enough, Father Brown shows this gentleman that, he pretty much says to him, it is not my place to judge. It is only whether you're a good person that God will judge you for, as he puts it. And during this episode, they also show the opposite side by having the murderer, the true murderer, be a priest who was also the murder victim's brother, who was disgusted.
I'm not going to lie, I saw that coming as soon as you said the victim is gay.
Yes.
In the 50s.
Yeah. And he basically claimed, that all he just did was just chuck a hammer and let God decide whether the gay man should die, and this insulted Father Brown, and he was all like, how can you say such things? Just use God's name like that. And so it basically shows kind of like the good and the bad side of human society and religion, in my opinion, in that regard. Using God's name to, pretend that what you did is a good thing, sort of deal. But it's still very dry, though. So, I just find it amusing that 2003 decided to, cover an episode on, that sort of subject matter before everyone else decided it was cool to do that now these days, if you know what I mean.
I think these days we're all collectively past what that 2003 episode tried to accomplish. In fact, whenever I see or think about episodes of shows that try to be important about that subject matter, it always feels forced, contrived even.
Yeah.
The result of a decision by some producer in order to appear progressive, but they only really reveal that they are trying to capitalize on that whole rainbow capitalism.
Yeah, which even I am a bit uncomfortable with, basically having.
Yes, I mean Disney is being very blatant about it, but then
Oh,
conversely you have something like
this is my
She-Ra,
gun.
which is
Actually, no, this
very
is
much celebrating LGBTQ in the most organic and sensible way possible.
shotty.
Yes, it's a very good shotgun.
Yes. So yeah, considering my position in life, I do find it.
Yes, these big skeleton boys that
Yeah,
throw hammers at you.
they're called the Clears.
The queer are coming.
The Clears are coming. When you say it with that accent, it sounds so queer.
I know that's why I said it.
We have a headless guy with a chainsaw.
Sure.
We have
Variety is the spice of life. Oh my gosh, he said it's actually where it's supposed to be.
I mean, yes, but also
Kind of.
and we have a female Gnaw too.
Oh, I'm disappointed she has no bow.
Yes, but one runs and the other walks.
I like how the female is very calm and chill, and she knows what she's doing. She has confidence. She's an independent woman, and the guy is running. I need to impress my lovely.
I need to impress my wife and kids.
I need to impress my girlfriend by killing this human. Notice my masculinity, damn it.
Let's just get going. I think I'll be sticking with this gun for a bit. I have 47 ammo.
This gun is fun.
I love this gun.
All the weapons are fun here.
Oh, is that all? I'm trying to. Okay, short level apparently.
It was the tutorial level, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But okay, we can continue from here.
Yes, let's do one more since it was relatively short.
We might as well do it because we'll get the one enemy that everyone came here for.
Oh yes, baby!
Don't say anything. Just.
Oh, I know it's coming.
Just let it happen.
Shh, 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 shh. So many of them right off the bat. I love them and I hate them. Oh, how I hate them. Freaking kamikaze guys with the bombs and screaming even though they have no head to scream. They have no mouth and they must scream. Now this is where the arena shooter part in this arena shooter game really shines.
Keep moving. Serious Sam is about a game out. Seriously moving.
Seriously moving, bro.
A shotgun should not be used for long-range combat.
And yet, here you go.
Yep, and everyone is dead.
Yes, that makes me happy.
Okay, so say hello to the beheaded kamikaze.
Everybody simultaneously loves and hates this guy.
Yeah.
His scream is nothing short of iconic.
I just love the when they were doing trailers for Serious Sam 3, they did it in the style of interviewing the beheaded kamikaze guy, and he was talking like normal, going like, "Yeah, it's lovely when you go to work and you come home to the wife and kids later." Yeah. And then he goes like, "No, excuse me."
I just love that he telegraphs his attack miles away from miles and miles away. Just and then the scream gets louder and louder the more it gets close. It's top-notch gaming moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it's not fun to deal with these guys at a close range and in small spaces, let me tell you.
Yeah. The clears are quite fast.
The queer are coming!
The queers are coming away. Anyway, what about you? What have you seen anything interesting as of late?
Wait, where are you? Wait, where are you? Oh.
Okay, I think that. Huh. Could have sworn there was something going to be. Hello.
Well, there was that, and yes, that was a bit of an unfair trap.
Yeah.
Yes, he's whistling Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's whistling the Indiana Jones theme. Why wouldn't he do that?
Why wouldn't he? It's Serious Sam after all.
Yes, he's a serious movie buff after all. Anyway, so there are two games that I have played recently that I would like to briefly talk about.
What did you play recently then?
I'm actually going to try to keep it short for a change.
Okay. What are they?
So I played the Streets of Rage 4.
That explains the music.
Yes, on the Nintendo Switch.
No!
Great soundtrack, by the way.
No.
Soundtrack, and oh boy. If only you had the Gatling machine gun.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot easier than this. I might as well go with the pistols for now and just stay clear of them as much as I can.
So, Streets of Rage 4, the latest entry in the Streets of Rage franchise, classic retro-style arcade beat-em-up.
Yeah.
Actually, classic arcade-style retro beat-em-up, that's what I should have said. Because stylistically it is not retro at all. It has a new coat of paint that makes the game look absolutely gorgeous, and it's one of the major selling points. It's a gorgeous looking game, so much attention to details, well animated characters as they fight around the city, beating the absolute shite out of literally everybody. It's fun, it's well paced, a very lean and mean experience in that sense. You can play online or with a friend. It's a very satisfying beat 'em up in that sense, and I was not a fan of beat 'em ups before playing this. My only two prior experiences with the genre were Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which can no longer be played by anybody, unfortunately.
Which is sad.
And the somewhat underwhelming River City Girls, for my taste.
Which is
It was good, but it was not great as it could have been, if you ask me. Ironically, its RPG elements only served to pad the game out.
Which is a shame, really.
Yes, and it's great for beginners because if a boss is too hard, you can grind up for levels and then squash the boss, but you also run the risk of making every boss too easy if you're too leveled up.
Yeah.
Conversely, if you're too low level, you cannot take a boss at all. And you know what? I've come to dislike that, because if you play something as lean as Streets of Rage 4, it's all a matter of skill, and you can basically take on anybody and anything. Sure, you will die a lot of time and restart the level, but you will learn the patterns, you will learn about the locations and what enemy to expect, and taking down all those aforementioned enemies and the bosses will become second nature with enough practice. And I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the experience, I enjoyed the gameplay. It has a satisfying crunch and oomph when you just get the right combo onto some enemy and you just destroy them you grab them, you do a German suplex or a Frankensteiner, you run up to them and just kick them in midair. It's so good and it feels good to play. Surprisingly so on the Switch.
I will say that a lot of Streets of Rage fans says it's like playing one of the classic games. You know.
It is, but it looks good.
Yeah,
actually.
I actually do like the style of it. It's like looking at an animated TV show.
It's a sort of a late. Oh, it's that rock again.
Oh no!
Oh, you didn't save, did you?
No, I didn't. I was
Oopsie daisy.
I was busy enjoying the game.
Yes, this is an enjoyable game. Anyway, so Streets of Rage 4 is great aesthetically as well. It has this late 90s comic book aesthetic, and it paints this New York-esque world that's grimy and gritty and filled with urban decay. And every single area, every single screen of the game oozes with sheer maddening attention to detail. That's especially satisfying if you notice it. So that's a selling point. Another major selling point, at least for me, is that you can beat up a lot of cops in this game, and that's always a good thing. Yes, you can play as a young black woman beating up cops. How good is that?
Well,
how cathartic is that?
Well, you know, the Streets of Rage games always have the cops that are corrupt in that.
Well, yes, but your main characters were also cops. Aside from Adam Hunter, none of the main characters are cops anymore. In fact, the more I read about the bios and the history, the background of these characters, the more I view them as very much
vigilantes?
Thoroughbred anarchists. My kind of people. So Blaze Fielding had to quit the forces, the police forces, because she was too much of a badass for the police to handle. She punched the commissioner in the face over a ethical disagreement. So she became a full-time dance instructor. That's great. That's such a flex, let me tell you. And Axel Stone decided to quit the police force to go live as a homeless man in the forest to meditate or something. Oh, but there is the new character, Floyd. What the heck are they doing?
I think they glitched.
That's funny, kill them. Or not!
The Indiana Jones boulder killed them for us.
Yes, thank you, Indiana Jones boulder. So there is the bio of this new character, Floyd, which as soon as you see him, you think of Jax from Mortal Kombat, because he's a big guy with 2 bionicle arms.
Yeah.
Cybernetic implants, I should say. Well, his backstory is that he was a working class man who had a crippling incident at work that left him without arms, and his boss screwed him over it entirely.
Wow.
So this game is anti-capitalism. Not in a way that's too immediately obvious, well, save for all the cops that we are beating. It's not Tonight We Riot, but it's close in that sense. After all, the main villains are a couple of rich, spoiled brats who literally want to control the entire population. So it doesn't get more obvious than that. Unless you're playing Tonight We Riot, that is. I really, really like Streets of Rage 4 in a way that I was not expecting to like. I was never a beat-em-up guy, but now, well, I guess I kind of am, but then again, I know that this game is really top of the line when it comes to its genre, and not all games can really measure up to the level of gameplay fluidity and control that Streets of Rage 4 is able to grant you. So I, for one, really enjoyed it, and I am still waiting to play it with Ross Ferris when he can. In the meantime, I also tried to play it with my sister.
Ah, did she enjoy it? Or
Oh yes, yes she did.
that's great then.
Yes, so we both had fun. Great game, I cannot recommend it enough. On the completely other end of the spectrum, there is a burningly disappointing experience.
What experience was that then?
Iron Fury. I bet you've heard about that one.
It's a first-person game, right?
First-person shooter.
It was originally
spiritual
called
successor to
Duke Nukem. Yeah,
yes.
It was originally called Iron Maiden before they had to change the...
Yeah, because Iron Maiden are a bunch of humorless tweets.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway, Iron Fury. There is something excruciatingly wrong with it. And I noticed as soon as I picked it up and played it. I bought it on my PlayStation 4, of course. And there was something niggling about the way in which the controller was calibrated comparatively to the gameplay. But I find myself being almost completely unable to hit any enemy right off the bat. Literally, the first 4 enemies in the game, I almost die because I cannot actually hit them as I move around them.
Huh.
I think it's a series of issues that compounded together make for a very tragic experience. It might be that I am bad at it, which is perfectly
possible,
yes. But, you know, I played Doom Eternal, which is all about running fast and hitting faster, and I sort of can do it.
Oh no, it's the balls.
Oh, this one.
It's the
so
balls.
Why can't I play Iron Fury like that? Doom controls like a dream on my PlayStation 4, so why not Iron Fury? There is just something about the way it was ported that leaves me colder than an ice block. Unless I am very angry about it, but... So... You can either run in this game or walk normally, and if you run, you're going too fast to properly aim the enemies, but if you're walking, you're basically a sitting duck.
Apparently this is a wereball.
Which is annoying. Also, the melee weapon doesn't hit.
That's
As in, I get up to them, use my electrified baton, I am aiming at them, the reticle is centering them, and it still doesn't hit them for some reason. It almost feels like I'm hitting them out of sheer luck. And that's the same when I'm using the shotgun to take down relatively smaller enemies.
Let's use the rockets.
I literally missed them 4 times because the reticle wasn't perfectly centered and aligned with them. And the reticle, I find it's too small for my eyes. Maybe that's also the problem. And when I try to manually recalibrate the game to change the sensitivity, it doesn't help at all. And the worst part, one of the worst parts, is it has to do with the mapping of the buttons, which cannot be redone manually, which means I am stuck with the up and down arrows on the D-pad for changing weapons. But if I have to do that, I have to stop moving because I'm using my big fat thumb to move the character on the left analog stick. This is backwards. And the game is really hard as it is, but I am not having fun at all because I keep missing, I keep having problems with the way it's calibrated, I keep having problems in moving around and just doing anything. This game just does not work for me, and I think it's fundamentally broken. and it might be because it was poorly ported on the console. The fact that that can still happen in the year of our Lord 2020, when we figured out how to make shooters good on consoles,
Yeah.
just angers me. I tried to get a refund, actually.
Hopefully you got that refund then.
I hope I do get the refund. I tried to explain in painful details why this game is broken, but it's much harder to get refunds on the PlayStation Network than it is on Steam.
Yes, it is, sadly.
Anyway,
this is
so
the
that was a
Biomech
tragic experience, and maybe it's much better to play on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Because it was initially meant to be played as that. But still, you ported this game on a console, which means you think it's ready to be played on a console. So, again, maybe I'm simply not good at it. I'm not good at Duke Nukem either. But I felt like I have never played a first-person shooter in my life, and that's a factual lie. So that really made me hate this game even more and made me hate the fact that I am not good at it.
Okay. Let's save a new one here.
So now I don't want to see it ever again.
We'll be at Tombs of Ramses next time when we play this.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about mostly. A game I unexpectedly like more than I thought I would, and a game that unexpectedly I hated.
More than you thought you would.
I thought it was going to be great, so much fun, but it's no fun to play on console. That much I can say with absolute certainty. The speed by which the character moves compared to the level of sensitivity that the control allows or doesn't allow, if you will, all of that combined together makes for a deeply terrible experience. I seriously had a moment in which I had one of the basic enemies shooting me down while I failed to hit him 4 consecutive times with my shotgun at mid-range.
Wow.
That's insanity!
Yeah.
I know for a fact I am not that bad. That's insanity.
Absolutely crazy.
I am not that bad, I swear. That's just... No one is that bad. It has to be this game. I'm not in denial.
You're not in denial. The game's in denial. Anyway, I think we should probably call it a night. But
yes. Anyway, this was your first taste to the Serious podcast. From now on, we will continue our Insert a Game podcast show with Serious Sam.
Yeah, we'll be doing this, I guess.
Which is a much more fun game than Heretic. I'm sorry to say, but, you know, Heretic is a bit old.
It is old, but I still liked it for what it is.
But this is better.
Well, this is fun, yes. You know, yeah, it's fun in its own right, really. It's just a bit more fun than Heretic, just slightly. Anyway, we'll catch you next time, folks, and hope you enjoy our ramblings, and especially my ramblings, where they seem to go here,
Father
there,
Brown!
Where they go from here, there, and everywhere.
Yes, you took us to a journey into the world, the magical, priestly world of Reverend Brown, or whatever his name was.
It's so weird, because murder mysteries seem to have a fascination with putting a religious person into murder mystery. Like, we had medieval monk solve mysteries. Heck, even the US decided to have their own priest called Father Dowling, basically solve mysteries.
Well, in fairness, who else will be solving mysteries in the medieval ages? The town guard? I mean, technically they could, but no, that's not what they're paid to do. They are paid to guard the castle, not to solve mysteries. No, for those they send the Inquisition, preferably the Spanish one, which nobody ever expects. Because, you know, the murder is not happening in Spain. So you wouldn't expect the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, I'm done for tonight.
Yeah, me as
See
well.
you next time, everybody.
Take care,
To
buddy.
this serious podcast.
Yes, where only the serious talks happen.
Yes, as serious as a beheaded kamikaze. Running towards you while yelling even though it has no head.
Good night, everybody.